Welcome to Go Team Score Points, a podcast that started because the news is a lot and maybe learning about sports will be nice. In today's episode, we go over some current events and the Nuggets Celtics game. It's our best episode yet.
I've never got texts from you before that were like, I have a lot. I have a lot to talk about.
I know. And I watched the first 3 quarters of a game.
Oh,
I know. And I kind of enjoyed it. I think it's because I'm most familiar with both of these teams.
Right. Well, what were your current events? You said you had a lot.
Okay. One current event I heard from August that we're going to end up with an MVP this year just by default, based on other people being eliminated because they didn't participate in enough games. I think it's going to be Cade Cunningham, which is fine, but he is not at the same level as Jokic or SGA.
So Jokic, SGA, Giannis isn't even close, like in terms of games, but is having like maybe the best offensive season of his career, like when he does play. Luka, but they sort of stink. They're like a couple nights before the Celtics played the Nuggets, they played the Lakers, and it was like, they're just not very good.
Right. I saw that the Celtics beat them. And last week I said the Lakers are always good.
You did.
I know. It turns out I don't know as much about basketball as you think.
So the other names, Jalen Brunson, you heard Jalen Brunson's name in that conversation.
Knicks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jalen Brown.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think Wemby might only be able to miss like 1 or 2 more games.
He was my prediction.
He was your prediction.
In October.
But they are like sailing. The Spurs are good. They're scary.
They're on a 10-game winning streak.
Yeah, they're way ahead of schedule. They're awesome.
But October, I said Wemby unprompted.
Yeah. I guess we'll go back to last week. Do you think, is this a problem? Like if Jokic plays 63 games and is ineligible for the MVP, is that a problem? Is that a problem for the NBA?
I mean, a cutoff is a cutoff.
Do we talk about why they did this?
Yes, we did. Because they're arresting too many people.
Load management.
Yeah.
One thing that I've heard is like, what if you miss like some number of games in a row, the rule doesn't apply to you anymore?
Oh, interesting.
Right. So if you miss 10 games in a row, that's different than being load managed or whatever.
Right.
But, so
like an injury.
Right. I don't know if it matters.
Okay. I have another current event. Denver's legislation, or Colorado, or they're working on a bipartisan bill about gambling.
Yeah.
I thought this was really interesting. SB 26-131. This is attempting to slow down gambling habits by eliminating credit card use on sports betting apps, limiting the number of deposits a person can make into an account, curtailing TV commercials, and banning push notifications to cell phones from betting companies such as DraftKings and FanDuel.
Wow.
So you know what FanDuel says. Joe Maloney, who's the president of the Sports Betting Alliance, he says that this is going to be a bad thing because it's going to push people back into like illegal offshore markets. And I say fewer ads and push notifications from FanDuel, the better.
Yeah, I agree. I would love to know how big is this problem? And I'm sure it's huge. I'm not doubting that this is a huge problem. I just wonder how widespread it actually is. And I do wonder if it'll help. Like, will other markets just spring up with ways around? I think you're right that like the lack of advertising will help. Right.
I hope so. And like, I wonder how much it will help eliminating credit card usage on sports betting apps.
Yeah.
How would that even work?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like,
like you have to
go give someone cash.
Yeah, or like direct deposit from your bank.
Right.
I don't know.
Or some kind of delay, like some kind of lag time or something like that.
Because I know that Google stores my credit card information. Like shopping is easy.
Yeah. Seinfeld has a bit about that. Like that when it got to like 1 click.
Yeah.
He's like, if it's 2 clicks, I'm out. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure gambling is that easy.
Yeah.
I guess that's good. And it's on people's radar. I don't have faith that it will fix things.
I don't think it'll fix things. And they're not promising that it will fix things, but they're hoping that it will help things.
Yeah. Like, do you think the NBA is nervous about that? Do you think the NBA doesn't care? They've already got their promise from FanDuel.
I would bet that FanDuel is lobbying hard inside the NBA right now to be like, this is a problem.
Yes.
This is a problem. They want the NBA on their side.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder what the conversations in the NBA are. I mean, there can't be reasonable people who are like, no, gambling's good, right? Like that. It's good that we've allowed these teenagers to gamble on sports.
Right. So I don't think that's the argument. I think the argument is like what the president of the Sports Betting Alliance said.
Yeah.
Like,
at least it's regulated.
Yeah. It's regulated. So it's safer. So the guidelines, we're really protecting people because they're going to gamble anyway. I think that's the argument. Maybe.
If that was true, wouldn't they want limits? Obviously they don't want limits. They want money. But like, wouldn't they want it to be like, okay, like depending on your age, you can only gamble this many dollars per month or this many, whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not good. It's not good.
No, it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Other current events. See, there's so much.
There's a lot. Go.
Jokic and Jay Will, who we talked about just an episode ago, got into a big fight.
Yeah.
The Nuggets played Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday, and it went into overtime.
Yeah.
And Lou Dort stuck his hip out, and Jokic fell down. Then there was a fight between Jokic, like, got in his face, and then Jay Will stepped in.
Yeah.
And like got into it with Jokic. And then Lou Dort was ejected from the game.
Right.
And then there were fouls on both teams and whatever.
Yeah. I guess Shai like threw the ball at Jokic early in the game because he thought Jokic fouled him after a whistle.
Oh.
And they played a 7-game playoff series last year.
Right.
So like there's a little bit of history and a little contentious. And so it all kind of makes sense. I always wonder how calculated it is. So like Jay Will, if anyone's doing any calculating, Jay Will is like, look, Jokic is not going to beat me up in this game. He's not going to start throwing punches until I'm unconscious because he'd be suspended for the rest of the season. He's too smart for that.
Yeah.
But if I go and rile him up right now and like get into this and get in his face and try to start a fight, maybe he gets kicked out of this game.
Oh.
And that's great for us, right? I'm not going to get beat up, but we would have a much better chance to win this game if Jokic and I both got ejected. I wonder how calculated that is. My guess would be like very.
Really?
Yeah. The not conspiracy theory is like they're all proud guys and the Nuggets are like, are feeling like, you know, we won this title a couple years ago and we still are that team, and the Thunder like, your time's over. This is us now, and it just gets contentious. But I do think it's more calculated than that. If Draymond Green's the guy who's like, he's like the model instigator.
Yeah.
And then that swear jar in that Celtics series in 2022, the Celtics were ahead in that series 2-1 or something like that. And he like just made a choice. He's like, I'm going to mess with these guys. And it worked. They stopped focusing on basketball and they started, you know.
Did that also happen with the Pistons? Were we talking about that?
Yeah, the Pistons are great about that. Those late 80s Pistons teams were like, we're not scared of those guys. We'll fight them if we have to. And the Pistons were like, we're going to win. They're not even thinking about basketball.
So this fight was in quarter 3.
Yeah.
And then they were tied at the end of the game and went into overtime. I think it probably like got everybody fired up.
Yeah, I don't know. Every once in a while, you'll see a coach, like if their team is kind of flat, you'll see a coach like freak out on a ref and get a technical foul because they're like trying to wake their team up.
Oh.
I've seen that work sometimes. Like the players like respond, they'll get a little bit more emotionally charged up or whatever when that happens. So I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know if a fight like this matters. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are just some of the current events from the week.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens next week.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right. So we had legitimate internet comments.
Yeah. And not mean ones.
Not
like
mean
that's what I mean when I say legitimate.
Yeah.
Not mean. Okay. Leroy Simmons, 2984.
Okay.
He mentioned 2 sets of brothers that we missed.
Oh.
I did not fact check this and see if they're current, but we're just going to go with it.
Love it.
Okay. He says we missed the Champagny brothers, Spurs and the Nets.
Yeah, that's real.
And the Spencer brothers, who play for Golden State and Memphis.
That comment was on the full video. I don't think anyone's ever commented on it.
I know.
So 2984, whatever your name was. Nice job. Thanks for the comment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was on the 20-minute one. So someone watched almost to the end, maybe.
Wow. I don't know anybody did.
No. So, and then there were a couple comments on shorts.
So one comment says, yes, I like the idea. Fan had some sort of power to push back on the organization.
Yeah.
It's about fans unionizing.
Yeah. It would need to be so big. That union would need to be so big. And like, there's all kinds of problems with like, membership fees and how quickly would DraftKings come and try to get special deals for
I know they would
members to gamble. But I was like insomnia, like drawing up a charter of like, what would the goal of a fan union be?
Yeah.
It's like protect fans, enhance the fan experience, and provide more access to high quality sports.
I wonder if it's something like when, not necessarily like an official union, but like Target, for example, cut its DEI programs and people boycotted Target. There was this big movement on social media to not shop at Target.
Yeah.
And their stock dropped.
Yeah.
Significantly.
Yeah.
So maybe we just need to boycott. So a union would be like, have more sustainable change than just like a one-off boycott.
Yeah. Sports are just so ubiquitous, right? Like, gear. What would it be like to be like, look, we're not happy with what the league's doing. No one buy a Nugget shirt until we get this resolved. Like, how, you know what I mean? How would you?
What if you started it right now? A union.
Yeah.
A sports fan, the NBA fans union.
Okay. What if I did?
Yeah, right now on our podcast.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's start it.
Sign up.
First meeting of the Brotherhood. Siblinghood?
Family.
Fraternity, not fraternity. Don't think comrades, of all of us comrades. NBA charter. The thing that always makes me think of it is like there are negotiations between the players and the owners. And then like sometimes the referees go on strike and like sometimes, and like the fans just don't have a voice in any of that. And I always think like if the fans did get together, they would crush either of those other two groups.
We have the potential to have all the power.
Totally. It'll never happen. It's just like, it would just be cool. The last time there was a strike in some league not that long ago ago. And I was like, how can fans not be at the table and just be like, actually, owners, the players don't get enough money. And like, players, we're going to get you 10 less games a season, but you got to play or else all of this goes away for you.
Yeah.
You know, it would be, I don't know. It would be cool to have a voice in that.
The other suggestion for how to fix the NBA is to make salaries capped. Robert Danger says, don't let teams pay a fine if they go over a hard cap. That way the talent has to spread to all the teams if they want to get paid. Also, if players don't play, they don't get paid. These rest days for NBA athletes are pathetic. How do you call yourself a professional athlete if you can't play 30 minutes of basketball 2 or 3 nights a week?
Yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
On the one hand, right.
Yeah.
Like they are, I would imagine, having someone cooking their meals, or that option is available. They have a nutritionist. They have more than one trainer. They have someone probably that stretches them.
Masseuse, yeah.
Therapist. They've got everything you could want.
Yeah.
So yeah, but also like they're playing so hard.
They're playing so hard. I think it's harder than it was. I like this comment. I disagree with what the guy said, but I like the comment. I think it's probably more like 3 or 4 times a week that they're playing. And that feels like the difference between 2 and 4 NBA basketball games a week in terms of your body feels like a lot to me.
Yeah.
I think LeBron not that long ago was talking. He's like, it is so much harder to play basketball than it was when I started in the league 20 years ago or whatever. Just the way the actual game has played, the amount of space and the amount of running and the physicality. And I don't know. The hard cap idea is interesting. Like if you think back about the NBA, what you remember is really great teams. Mm-hmm. Like NBA historian type people, like, you know, the 60s were the Celtics. The 60s kind of and 70s were the Celtics. The 80s.
Is it not the Celtics?
The 80s, well, kind of. The 90s. The 90s was not the Celtics. The 90s was the Bulls.
Well, that's a dark time for you.
It was hard. It was so hard not to win championships. The 80s are the Lakers and Celtics, and then like the Spurs and the Warriors and all these like dynastic type things. It'll be really interesting in 30 or 40 years because this period we're in right now. I wonder when people look back on the league in 20 years, if they'll be like, yeah, that was weird how like no one was able to sustain being good then. If they'll be like, oh, no, that was like some of the best basketball that we ever saw because the talent was spread around. My point in saying all of this is I'm not sure that having the talent evenly spread across 30 teams is good for the NBA. I wonder if the NBA is better when there are 4 or 5 excellent teams that are kind of on a collision course for the finals for a few years in a row. I don't know.
Okay, that's all we have for internet comments this week, fortunately.
Yeah, all positive, good comments. Productive.
Oh,
comments.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, good job, internet.
Yeah. Way to go, internet. Okay, let me tell you about a game that I watched this week.
Good.
I watched the Nuggets play the Celtics in Denver.
Yeah.
And it was an ESPN broadcast. The announcers are Jay Bilas and Mark Jones.
Great.
I'm going to talk about them in a little bit.
Okay.
So the game was great. Jaylen Brown didn't play the day before, so he's rested. Yeah. This game, and at one point, all 3 of these players were on the floor at the same time, has Jaylen Brown, Bruce Brown, and Christian Brown.
Oh, wow.
Brown blocks Brown, passes to Brown from downtown. Okay, Jamal Murray, they said he's a little under the weather, but he was playing. And then by halftime, he went home sick.
Oh, he went home.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard it worded like that. I knew he didn't play the rest of the game, but...
Well, I mean, they said he went to the locker room, but I was like, he went home sick.
Yeah, he had a pass from the nurse to go head home sick. Yeah.
Which is too bad, but he was back a couple days later.
Yeah. So, still, it was debatable whether he was going to play in the next game against the Thunder, but he had almost 40 points in that game against the Thunder.
Whoa.
He's good. Yeah, I know.
I know he's having such a good season.
Yeah.
Everyone was wearing the classic uniform, the Nuggets and the Celtics. Everyone looked great. Yeah. Okay. Cade had a great game. He had a slam dunk. There were a surprising amount of Celtics fans at the game.
There were. What is
this game?
Yeah. Yeah.
You did?
Where is there a big...
How much of this game did you watch?
Maybe all of it? I don't know. Yeah.
This is like the first game you've watched in quite a while. And me too. Wow.
Is there a big Boston contingent in Denver? Who knows?
They're everywhere, I guess.
Yeah, we do. We spread.
Yeah. Okay. During one of the timeouts, instead of a kiss cam, they had a trivia question. It's like, how many point, rebound, something did the Nuggets get in the last game? And there were like 2 people and they each had a whiteboard and they just had to write the number.
Oh, really?
Whoever was closest got it.
Wow.
So
that's better.
I know. It was way better. In between quarter 1 and quarter 2, Rocky, the mascot, like climbed up on a really, really tall ladder. Like it was like a ladder and then there was an extension and he climbed up further and he tried to do a backward shot from the top of the ladder. He missed all of them.
Oh.
Still very scary. He was up very high and wearing a gigantic, mascot head.
Yeah.
In quarter two, I thought this was interesting. Jaylen Brown and Derek White are both Muslim and they were both observing Ramadan.
Oh.
Did you know that?
It rings a bell with Jaylen Brown.
I knew that Jaylen Brown did, but they said Derek White did. And then I looked it up on Wikipedia and they said he's Muslim. Ramadan, you fast from sun up till sundown.
Yeah.
Okay. Quarter two is when Murray went to the locker room.
Yeah.
And may not come back.
Right.
And he didn't. Well, I want to talk about Derek White because Derek White plays for the Celtics, but he was in Denver.
Yeah.
Where he's from. He's from Parker, Colorado.
Yeah. Derek White.
And grandparents were there. It's funny because last time we talked about this, I was like, I wonder how many tickets they get comped. It wasn't until like seeing his parents in a luxury box that I was like, oh, wait, they don't need comp tickets.
Right. Or he could use part of his $40 million salary to buy a couple $500 seats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So then before halftime, they did a parachute drop of red envelopes.
Yeah.
Because they're celebrating Lunar New Year.
Did that surprise you?
Yes.
Me too.
Because Lunar New Year was last week.
Right.
It was not when this game was.
Right.
Whatever. Good job.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Representation matters for real. I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And then Red Panda performed at halftime. And we learned about Red Panda because she performed at the All-Star weekend last year.
Okay.
And I was like, what are these shows? There was like a roller skating couple.
Okay.
And Red Panda, like very random entertainers.
Is it Asian influenced? Is this
so Red Panda? I looked her up.
Yeah.
So she is this person who is probably older than me, and she rides an 8-foot unicycle and tosses bowls from her foot to her head.
Oh, yeah, I do remember this.
Yeah. So she performed at halftime. So she's from a family of acrobats and like started acrobating when she was like 7 and went to acrobat school in China. And she's only fallen like twice.
Okay.
So that's Red Panda. And then Jamal Murray went home sick.
Yeah.
And then in quarter 4, there was a 15-0 run by the Nuggets.
Yeah.
They won. I didn't watch the ending. Did you enjoy the game?
I did. I mean, the Celtics, if you look at them on paper, do not have a lot of offensive firepower. They've got Jaylen Brown, who's like an all NBA talent. Peyton Pritchard is like really good and like 6'1", and Derek White's really good, but like as a primary creator, there are 30 guys in the league you take before him, like to try to score in a one-on-one situation. I keep on like, if I get to watch the Celtics or checking box scores, and I'm like, how are they scoring this many points? Like it just doesn't make sense. And watching this game, I was like, this is like their worst case when like just some 3-pointers just aren't going in, and they don't have anything. There's like nothing else that they can do if that's happening. And it happens, that happens sometimes, and it happens to every team. If you watch the Nuggets on a given night, they're just like, well, shots aren't going in the way that they should. But I was watching this game and I was like, this feels like when playoff defense starts. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of games for the Celtics where they're playing hard and you look up and there's 6 minutes left in the game and they only have 70 points and you're just like, they just can't score. So that was my like basketball-y takeaway from this game. Also, just like Jokic is just so good.
He really is.
It's that shot where he was like kind of falling out of bounds and the total lost possession.
Like, how does he know where the basket is at that point? He's like spinning around, just chucks it.
100%. And wasn't surprised. Wasn't like, he just ran back like, yep, that's what we do. We take
everyone on the bench was like, everybody.
We take 1-foot fadeaways from 24 feet and they go in, and then
it's incredible.
We go play defense. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. But yeah, fun game. I enjoyed watching this one.
I want to talk to you about these announcers.
Good.
Jay Bilas and Mark Jones. They said a lot of like wacky things and their internet comments about them. First of all, Jay played college basketball and then he was an assistant coach at Duke.
Yeah.
And then he worked as an announcer on like radio. He wrote things. He was on TV, but he was mostly college. So 24-25 was his first season announcing for the NBA. Did you know he's also a practicing lawyer?
No.
He most notably worked on the case Lions Partnership versus Morris Costumes, Inc., where he successfully defended the costume business against trademark and copyright claims brought by owners of the popular children's television character Barney the Dinosaur. Like, that's a fun fact.
That is a fun fact. So wait, he represented the Barney people?
He successfully defended the costume business against trademark and copyright claims. So it must have been the costume looked like Barney and the Barney's people were like, hey, that's copying Barney. And he's like, no, this is just another purple dinosaur named Carney.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's a successful defense.
He's like, the purple, Your Honor. It is not the same purple.
This is a plum.
Right. Does Barney have carte blanche on every shade of purple?
Right.
Is that fair? Is that the kind of country you want to live in?
I object.
Sustained.
In 1997, Lions Partnership, owner of the Barney dinosaur, sued Morris Costumes, accusing Morris of trademark infringement for renting purple dinosaur suits called Duffy the Dragon that resembled Barney.
Oh, wow.
Look at this picture.
That's what I'm talking about. I love that.
I wonder which one of these people in this chalk drawing are.
It's Jay Bilas. Yeah.
Jay Bilas. Wow.
That's amazing.
That was great. I wrote down so many things these guys said and put them far to the right on the entertaining side of the chart. But then I was like looking for a picture of these two guys together or whatever. And I came across a Reddit thread. Every comment was like, I hate these guys.
Really?
So this was a Reddit comment section on a game that the Nuggets played against the Thunder 10 months ago. And Mark Jones and
Jay Bilas.
Were the announcers for this game. I'm going to read you some of these comments because they're like
vitriol.
Yes. Okay. These two announcers are god awful. Please stick to college basketball, Jay. Jay Bilas would be MVP of my back with his. Mark Jones is a known hater of Jokic. Clowns of commentators, and that was repeated over and over again. They're clowns. D team at best. Insufferable. He said wet on at least 2 times, which is just a strange thing to say. I also wrote that down and sent you a clip of that. That is a strange thing.
Said the word wet. Yeah.
The clowns made me miss the corny boomer altitude announcers.
Oh, Hastings and whatever.
Yeah. Hastings and Chris Marlowe.
Yeah.
So Reddit hates them.
Not fans.
Apparently, they were very biased towards the Thunder 10 months ago. But at this game, they said very positive things about the Nuggets. Okay. So he said, you're running out of superlatives when talking about arguably the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. Then they say, buy one, get one free, Jaylen Brown. That was for an and one. Brown lines up the seams and it's wet.
How do you feel about that?
I didn't understand what any of that meant. Lines up the seams and it's wet?
So lines up the seams. Can you picture a basketball has the lines around it? When you shoot a free throw, one of the things people say is to put your fingers in one of those grooves.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh my gosh, that's what I learned today.
That's what you learned today. So you get good rotation on the shot. And I'm guessing if it wasn't a free throw, I'm guessing what they're saying was he had enough time. Like he was really open for that shot because he had enough time to line up the seams, get the shot perfect. And then it's wet.
Yeah, what is that?
Sometimes when it's a swish, do you know what a swish is?
Yeah.
People say splash. And I would assume that wet is it kind of sounds like a splash when it hits a net if you're there. And then the way that the net pops up, if it's a swish. So I'm guessing that wet came from splash is my guess.
Then one of them says, Jokic is directing traffic. He knows exactly what he wants. Fine. But he said that exact phrase in 2 different quarters of the game. He likes that phrase.
It'd be hard.
It's hard. Yeah.
We should do a segment sometime where we try to commentate 5 minutes of a game.
Oh yeah, we should.
And you'd be like, whoa, that job is hard.
We'll do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, next week. Walsh was holding him like next month's rent. Walsh just got a piece of him from behind. He's like, guys, calm down.
Yeah.
One of them says because they were talking about Derek White went to culinary school. We've talked about this. It was like a whole journey. He didn't get any offers from colleges. He ended up at Johnson & Wales, which is known for their culinary arts program.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were talking, and then one of them says, what's a sous chef? And then the other guy says, it's someone who hasn't become a chef. That's not true.
That's not true, yeah.
And I mean, I just know that because I watched Top Chef and The Bear. Derek White gets a 3, and they say...
White, that's the hot guy. He's hotter than fish grease.
This came up in the Reddit comment too, but then I Googled it. Hotter than fish grease is a slang idiom describing someone performing exceptionally well, on fire, or unstoppable, commonly used by basketball commentators to describe players hitting multiple consecutive shots. It signifies extreme, intense, and often sudden success. Reddit says Mark Jones says this a lot.
Fish grease. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Pritchard draws iron as he usually does. Oh, you
draws iron?
Yeah.
Draws iron means hits the rim.
Oh, okay.
But draws iron, to me, would sort of imply a miss, but I doubt they're saying that he usually misses.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know.
Once you get your body on him, he can feel exactly where you are and he'll spin off it. That's about Jokic.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of clutching and grabbing. There's a big body with those great feet. That's about Jokic.
I was just thinking that how Jokic for a guy that size has
great feet.
A ballerina. He's incredible.
That jumper is wet.
Same. Right. Splash.
Pritchard playing with his food on Jones.
I think playing with his food is like doing a lot of moves in a row and getting someone off balance.
Okay.
Like toying with someone kind of.
Then after a 15-point run by the Nuggets, Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics are feeling busted, disgusted, and not to be trusted. But why are they not to be trusted when, I guess because they're losing?
More for the rhyme. I don't think you should look too deep into that.
Okay. Celtics are leaking a little bit of oil right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I like that metaphor.
So I thought this was entertaining.
Yeah.
I really liked them until I read that whole thing about how terrible they are. And I was like, ooh.
Maybe you missed something?
Maybe I missed something, which is likely because I'm new to how long am I allowed to say I'm new to basketball?
Well, you're new to these guys.
Yeah, but I'm not new to commentators.
Right. But I mean, the whole point of your graph is that commentators have a different flavor. Maybe after you watch 10 games with Jay Bilas, you'd be like, okay, I'm over it.
Maybe. Yeah. But I think the Redditors would put these two at like just silly and not informative.
Okay. We have talked about Jay Bilas on this podcast before. He is one of ESPN's experts on like draft analysis.
Oh.
So as they're prepping for the draft next year, I think there's a drinking game that people play where every time he talks about a player's length, you do a shot because he just can't stop talking about these, these college. He's like his length is incredible, or his length is going to be a problem, or whatever. So,
well, that's all I have about the announcers.
Good job. Nice report on that game. Yeah, that was really good.
It's a good game.
Are we at MVP?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your MVP?
My MVP is going to be Red Panda. She has only fallen twice and has been doing this her whole life.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Good MVP. I never give MVPs based on that game's performance. I'll give it to Derek White just for his journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
LVP.
For me, the LVP of this game was the Celtics postseason chances. I was like, I don't see it. That's my LVP.
But who's my LVP? The illness that took out Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
They feel better, Jamal.
They still won, but whatever. What did we learn?
I learned that you can line up your hands with the seams of the ball when you're shooting.
I learned that Jay Bilas is probably swimming in knockoff Barney paraphernalia. Yeah.
So great.
Did you have a most confusing part?
So it wasn't confusing, but I think my most surprising confusing part was how excited I was about these announcers and then reading about how much Denver fans hate them and being like, oh no, I missed, I did it wrong.
Yeah. That's a good answer. I like that. Maybe my most confusing part would just be what's going to happen with that gambling thing.
Yeah.
Legislation. Will it make any difference? Will it pass? Is FanDuel going to swoop in and be like, we are giving billions of dollars to whoever's going to undo this?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Did we do it?
I think we did it.
Good job.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Go Team Score Points. Today's episode was edited by Irish. Information from this episode came from the Denver Post and some other places. You can reach us at goteamscorepoints@gmail.com. Join us later this week when we're going to learn about Bruce Brown.
Nice.
And play a game.